Hey y'all, how you perking? I hope you're perking good. So, highly requested video here on this topic. People have been asking me about Project 2025. And the questions that I've been getting about this, I've been writing down on my handy dandy sticky note here. People have said, basically, is this bad? Would it be bad for us if the Republicans are elected, or if the House or Senate were to swing Republican? Would Project 2025 be enacted? Should we be worried about this? All these questions coming from freaked out people. Very understandable for people to be confused, nervous, scared, intimidated, etc. in this, crazy political climate that we find ourselves in here. And so I'm going to take a look into this topic today by popular request. We're going to see what we can find out about it and where things could go or would go. See if we can get some predictions here for y'all. So, I am a licensed mental health clinician as well as a spiritual intuitive, and on these videos we take a look at the tea with the tarot. Don't be freaked out by that. Got a very good track record here on the channel. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the cards over here and move this microphone right here. Got Penelope's red matching my red, just trying to add a little bit of fun into what could otherwise be a heavy and or scary topic. So I'm gonna try to do this one justice, as always. And then also, everything that I say here, it's all alleged, just my interpretation, okay? The YouTube overlords like for me to say that it's all alleged, just my interpretation. I'm going to get shuffled up here for us to take a look into those questions that people have been asking. And people always usually like me to make my disclaimers of how much do I know about these topics before I pull cards on them. How cold is this reading, basically. And I usually, give some insights as to where I stand so that people can know that in advance. And so for this one, literally, I don't know anything about this. All I know is that this is some really, really long document by the Heritage Foundation, I believe is what the subscribers who asked for this gave me a little blurb about it in their questions, that it's something by the Heritage Foundation. It's very, very long. It's called Project 2025, and the people who are asking about this, I know they're scared. So I know whatever it is must either be bad, sound bad, look bad, something for it to freak people out. So I do know that. And I do know that it is associated with the right, or, the conservatives or Republicans, or, etc. So that's what I do know about this. That's all I know about this. So whatever we look into here, from there, it's going to be a pretty cold reading, and a lot of people tend to prefer it that way. So we're gonna take a look into this. As always, continue on this channel to have respect for the reading, for me, for the fellow commenters here that you're interacting with. We take a look at controversial topics on this channel all the time, because it's what people request, and the only way we can continue to do that is if we all play well in the sandbox about it. We all behave ourselves with it. That's how we're able to kind of keep that going. So, we usually have no problem with that. Let's continue to have no problem with that today, please. And let me get started. So, first question that people had, I'm still looking at my little sticky note down here. Is this actually considered bad? Like, would it be bad if this was put into place? If whatever this Project 2025 thing is, if it was enacted, put into place, would that be bad for us here in the United States? So I'm gonna, briefly, that one fell out. Don't know if y'all saw that, it slipped out, but I'm going to briefly take a look into that. Ooh, wow, you know, okay. All right, so just going off of what I'm seeing here, and oh, let me, as always, do this too. So at the time of filming this, it is 4:10 on Friday, August 2nd. I don't know what day or time y'all are going to be watching this video, but it's 4:10 on Friday, August 2nd. I tend to timestamp my videos anymore because shit comes true too fast nowadays, and I'll even be doing things like, oh, here's my reading on August predictions, but I'll film it in the end of July and I have to timestamp it because sometimes things start coming true already in July before we even get to August, you know, so I'm just putting that out there. But already with starting this, you know, I've got to be honest, there's literally only one upright card in all of this, and this isn't even the good position to see this in. It's a better position if we see it in reverse. So all of these cards, I'll be honest, do not look good here to me. They don't look good here to me. So for people that are asking, would this be bad if you know, everything that this stuff stands for, if this was put into place, would this be bad for our country? I got to be honest, from what I'm seeing here, and I understand this, you know, again, everything on this video could be controversial, but yes, I do see that would be bad. This is we're not moving in a forward good direction. This is not leaving the choppy waters into smoother waters. This is staying in the choppy waters, which we don't want. The High Priestess in reverse, this, you know, upright is this healthy way of us channeling our higher selves, the higher versions of ourselves, the, you know, best versions, most pure versions of ourselves. With it in reverse, there's some kind of semblance of being disconnected to that type of source energy, like this sense of, you know, we're not fully able to be connected to the guidance and the insights that we're intended to be pulling from. You know, we are, if you're watching these videos, these are tarot videos. I'm wearing a shirt that says occult and has this like crystal ball on it. You know, if you're here, it's because you're open to some sort of level of quote unquote woo woo, where you are open to the idea that there is a spiritual world out there, that we are a part of a spiritual existence some type of way, that we are not alone, that we have, you know, some form of either spirit guides or angels or a God force energy or something. And the idea that they help us and give us insights, and we pick up on those insights, and as we pick up on those things that's helpful to us, that's productive, that's good, that's positive, and if we are not able to adequately pick up on those things, and we're doing the opposite of what they're guiding us for, or things like that would be not a good thing, that would not lead us in a great direction. So I am seeing some kind of a disconnect there that doesn't feel good. The Moon card upright is, you know, things that are a bit hidden, things that can cause anxiety, things that, you know, the Moon card is like, it's our emotional side, but it's kind of the deeper, dark recesses of our emotional side. So, you know, you think of the moon at night, sleeping and dreaming, things like that. Or you think of the moon in terms of psychology, our subconscious, you know, those deeper levels and things. And if we're seeing that kind of energy come out here, then that's saying the deeper, darker aspects of ourselves coming out. The you know, I hate to, okay, I say what I see and I say what comes to mind, but I hate sometimes when something does come to mind that I know is going to be like, people could fuss at what I say, but you know, that's my integrity here. If it comes up, I got to say it, that there could be things that feel nightmarish, about this in actuality. So obviously that's not a good thing. Man, this one's, I apologize that this one's a bit of a, a tough subject here, but, it's heavily requested. People want to know, and we've got plenty more questions to dive in here to learn more about it. This is just where we're starting, okay? So, don't lose hope. We've got more to go. But, down here, I see with our Six of Cups in reverse, Nine of Swords in reverse, Ten of Pentacles in reverse, family card upside down in terms of it would be negatively affecting families, Nine of Swords in reverse. This is a card it's a mental health card, an anxiety card, a depression card. And when it's in reverse, sometimes it's like those things dialed up to the extremes, to the point of like feeling paranoid about what could happen, what will happen, what is happening, and etc. So I see people, intensely worried or depressed or things like that. And then the Ten of Pentacles in reverse is a lack of abundance. It's also a family card in reverse. So here's a reversal of family card. Here's a reversal of family card. So, family units suffering or struggling some kind of a way. And not having access to that stream of abundance, whether that means not being satisfied within the family unit, or whether that means that family unit struggling financially, because it is a Pentacles card. I just see a lot of this is not good energy here, if I'm being honest to what I'm seeing. This is not good energy here. So for the first question, if this was enacted here in the United States, if everything that was in that long document that I obviously have not read was put into place, would that be bad for the United States? I think that the impacts would be bad from what I'm looking at here. I don't know if this is something that looks like it should be good, but then just putting it into practice, it just doesn't seem like it actually will be good. Or if it's like, oh no, it looks bad from the start and it would be bad from the start. I don't know. There's a lot of things that people say, oh, well, doesn't this sound like a great idea? But then when you do it in practice, over time, it's actually not that good of an idea. So I don't know if it's more like that or if it's just from jump, just terrible. I don't know. But I'm not seeing good cards here on that. But we still need to look into, if Republicans are taking the White House or the Senate or the House of Representatives, would this happen? Would this, be enacted? Would these things actually happen? That to me is a good next question from what people were asking me, because sure, this doesn't look good, but then maybe we'll find out that even if this doesn't look good, like, so what, it's not going to happen anyway or something, who knows? Let's just dive in and take a look into that and see what we can find out, because I think that next step could maybe dial this back some, hopefully. I don't know. We're gonna find out together. But as I'm getting shuffled here, just want to put out there, like always, we do have a channel membership here if anybody is interested. If you feel like you've already binged all the videos here on the channel and there's still more that you want to see, there's probably like over 100 videos over there on the Perk Squad that you can take a look at. So if you'd like to join the Perk Squad, you can click the blue join button below or the link in the description box and head on over there. There's lots of different perks to the Perk Squad, even more than just their own special videos, like extended videos and separate videos, things like that. But there's a lot more things than just that, one of which our video shout outs over here. So shout out to you, Sarah Williamson, and thank you for being a member of the Perk Squad. Happy to have you here, Sarah, and shout out to you, Sarah Williamson, and thank you for being a member. All right. Let's dive into this second question, shall we? If Republicans, come in, what are people calling it? Like the red wave. If there's a red wave that comes in, that gets voted in November or whatever, would this Project 2025 stuff happen? Would this, be put out there? It would come to pass. It would happen. Let's see what we're kind of looking at on that? Oh, it's so interesting here of some of those same cards up top, but okay. This looks a little bit better than what it was before. Even if we've still got a lot of these reversals, with the question that I asked, this is actually a better way to see these. So I was asking, would this come to pass? Would these things be put in place if we have, a bunch of Republicans elected in November? And I'm actually not so certain that it would be. I don't really know that could happen. Now, I will say, it's possible that maybe they would want it to. I just don't see it really being able to. So again, with that moon card and it being in an upright position, that is the shoved down feeling. So if it's shoved down and it's kind of behind the scenes, I see that there would be some sort of like waiting in the wings behind the scenes nature of it. Like, hey, there could be certain elements of this ready and prepped to go if we could get a go ahead for it. So I do see that sense of some people, like some conservatives, having it on ready, being like, okay, if we get a green light, here's certain things that we could maybe try to get it through or whatever. But the Knight of Swords is in reverse and the Six of Swords is in reverse. These are slow energies, which means it wouldn't be able to go out fast if it was able to go out at all. And they're reversed energies, which usually is a bit of a stopping kind of energy, like we're not able to get it out there. And here, Eight of Swords as well, upright. My hands are tied on this. There's nothing I can do on this. My hands are tied on this. So it's kind of like, yeah, maybe there's some people that want this, but their hands are tied. What are they going to do? How are they going to be able to do that all by themselves or make this happen or whatever? There's something about this that seems too big for this to just happen. And, I guess that makes sense since people told me it's a really long document, like, hundreds of pages or something. Maybe it's like, that's just too much crap to happen. And no offense, but our government doesn't make a lot of big things happen, especially not fast. Things in government, if you've ever worked any government jobs, there's a lot of bureaucratic red tape. There's a lot of slow snail pace on things. There's a lot of, all kinds of things. And maybe there's, rules with stuff. I am not the most, the most educated when it comes to how our political systems work, but I feel like I know enough to know that when we're coming up with things like, proposals and bills and projects, that you can't just create one and put it out there. There is usually some sort of, voting on that, or some sort of like everybody in Congress kind of has to have a say and mostly agree, or like things like that. There are those types of, checks and balances or whatever in place. And so this is looking like my hands are tied. I'm bound. What can I do? Strength card in reverse. The strength of this is not there. There's a lot of weakness to this, that, there's no bite to it. Like, you don't have a strong standing. And again, the Knight of Wands in reverse is very similar to these energies. It's like, it's slow. It can't get out there. It cannot pass go and collect your $200. Like, you're stuck. You might spin your wheels in the mud. So I'm not even seeing that even if there was a quote unquote red wave or whatever, that, everything flips Republican or whatnot, in the November elections, I'm not seeing this really be able to take hold, because it looks like there's more to it than just people want this or whatever. And I don't even know who all does want this. I don't know if it's everybody that wants this, or if it's just a small section of people that want this, but it apparently isn't enough people or powerful enough people to be able to make it happen, or to make it happen quickly. This is slow moving and not really being able to get it to go. So I imagine if something were to happen, it would take a long time to do, and it would be super small, in the grand scheme of everything that you want. So let's say you had a wish list of like 10 things, like, oh, I want all 10 of these things to happen or something. And let's say, after a couple years, you're able to get 1 or 2 of them or something, like this doesn't make me freak out, I guess, of something bad being able to happen fast and easy or whatever. It just looks more like our government's not really able to make much happen at all, ever really, outside of its normal little things that it does or whatnot. I don't know. I mean, maybe that, I don't know. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing with this. So now, this being said, the next question I have on my list here, should we be worried about this? Should we be worried about this whole Project 2025 thing? Everybody that has requested this, when they request it, they seem really freaked out. They're like, I'm concerned about this. I'm worried about this. Should we be freaked out about this? Like, they're asking me in a way to show that they are scared. And I'm sympathetic to that, because here I am living in the States with y'all too. If there's something we should be scared of, then that means it would affect me too. So obviously, I have a vested interest in this as well from that standpoint. And I also, don't like people being scared and freaked out and stuff. And if there's any way to bring any kind of hope or peace, then that would be nice. And so far, from what they're saying like, yeah, this does seem like it wouldn't be a great thing for us, but it also doesn't seem like it would be a thing that could really go anywhere. Not, at least not like what people are fear projecting that it could or would be. So, should we be worried in general, I guess, about this? Very interesting. Super interesting here. Okay. Alrighty. So this is a card that we really never want to see. And this is a card that we really always want to see. Like, this is one of the best cards in the tarot. This is one of the worst cards in the tarot. So this is a very interesting way that they kind of juxtaposing these types of energies here when they're asking us if we should be worried. So what I'm looking at here is that if there were things that were able to start getting put in place, yes, I see a reason for worry if that were to happen. But again, I see this like people having to really sit on this for extended periods of time, things not being able to change and transform into that direction. So I see the Sun card upright, which is a very positive card that looks, a lot more sunny and light and uplifting compared to all the moon energies we've just been seeing, that dark and heavy hidden stuff we've seen in the first 2 pulls. Now we're getting the sun. It's the literal opposite energy of that, the out in the open, the bright, the sunny, the happy, the positive, all of that. We still get our reversed swords here, and this is also a reverse sword, which means that there will still be some confusion around this. There will still be some mystery and mystique around this. There will still be, I guess, certain proponents of this trying to figure out how and when they could get a leg up or in to get this to go somewhere. So, I don't think that people would necessarily just give up on going for whatever this is, but in terms of should we be worried, this is not a very worrying spread to me. I mean, this is just kind of like, in theory, this is worrying. In practical reality of, will this happen? How will this happen? How deeply and effectively will this happen? It's kind of like, people in the government are just not that effective enough to pull things like that off. And so it just don't see that kind of big changes coming through. And I just, this sun card, I can't get a sun card upright in a question like that and think of this as all fear and darkness and doom and gloom. This is literally the best card, really, in the deck. Especially in its upright position. So I'm confused then. Okay. I'm getting confused. That it's like, okay, this is a bad thing from how they're explaining. And yet it doesn't look like it could really get up off the ground. And it doesn't look like it's something to really lose a lot of sleep over necessarily. And so why am I seeing this so much from subscribers? And why are they so afraid? Where is that coming from? I just want to know. And as I'm pulling this context, just a reminder and put it out there. If you'd like to book a private reading, because I feel like things like this get heavy. People get freaked out. People like to have clarity. People like to have hope. People like to have, understanding and lightness, and just, it's hard to know who to listen to, what to listen to, who to believe, how to find out our own inner discernment, how to, connect with the guides or get any kind of information. We're confused and we're worried in these types of times. And so, if you think that I can help you in any kind of way by doing a private reading with you, or Reiki energy healing with you, or life coaching for some gentle guidance and healing with you, or even teaching you how to read the cards the way I read the cards, if you feel like any of that would be helpful, then just visit my website at BeasTalksAndTarot.com. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to try to help. So that is there. But as I'm pulling these 3 extra cards here on, what is all of this about? This seems to be something that I've seen in my comments a lot, and in my emails and my DMs and stuff a lot, and there's so much fear attached to this. So what's that about? Where's that coming from? Y'all, I'm a little frustrated by what I'm seeing here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little frustrated by what I'm seeing here. So Hermit card is, okay, keep people kind of in the dark and keep them reflecting and keep them thinking. This is a government card in reverse. So it's like when our institutions and our governments are acting in reverse, as in they are acting not in our best interest, or they're doing things that are kind of shady or something like that. And this is, ideas. Again, we're talking about swords, having the ideas, having putting that out there. To me, this reads like we are, this is controversial too, to say this, so I hesitate to say this, but again, I say what I see. If I see it, I say it. I don't hold back. That's a part of, the promise that I've made to everybody here on the channel. We have a lot going on these days where one side tries to scare us of the extreme things of their side. The other side tries to scare us of the extreme things of their side. And they're right that if either of these extremes were to take hold, we should be afraid. They're right. But I think that they know that those hugely extreme things can't take a solid, sustained foothold, because all these people would have to agree to it. All these people would have to sign off on it. All of these people would have to vote for it, and all of that kind of stuff. And they kind of just can't really get that to happen because they're just not effective enough to do that. It just doesn't seem to work out like that. We just kind of keep going back with these big promises from both sides, and we keep ping-ponging somewhere in the middle with no real change happening on either side from anyone, and so much less making some night and day 180 difference or something like that. So this to me looks like they know that it's unlikely to really take hold, but it benefits them for people to be afraid of it. And that really makes me mad, because I spend a lot of time on this channel and in private readings and even in my day job as a therapist, trying to help people work through fear and anxiety and paranoia and calm themselves and calm their nervous systems and feel more at peace. And for some entities to be like, hey, it benefits us for people to be afraid about something. Let's make them even more afraid or something intentionally, as like maybe a political move or something like that. That really bothers me. Now, again, I did see this thing was a bad thing. So if they're saying this thing is a bad thing, I don't see that they're lying about that. But it seems like they know that it would be an uphill battle to make this bad thing, like, truly for real happen and take full root and really grow in this country. But they're not telling you that part because fear porn. And I don't like that. I find that to be incredibly unethical, and I think both sides do this. I think both sides make people so freaked out of the other side, so the other side, won't get any votes. Like, hey, they're so bad over here. Vote for me. I'm not bad, kind of thing. And I feel like both sides do cheap tricks like that or whatever. So it's not like I'm even saying shame on you one side over the other. I don't like this type of ploy, no matter who the hell does it. I don't care if it's frickin', Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny doing this shit. Shame on them. Back to the North Pole with you. Back to your little bunny hole with you. Whatever. So this is what I'm seeing. I feel like I've asked all these things that y'all are worried about. I feel like we've kind of gotten down to the core of this. And not gonna lie, I'm just kind of disappointed at where this went. That's the main thing here. So it seems like in these times, we've really got to figure out, if anybody's telling us something scary, what do they have to gain by us being afraid? And if anyone is telling us something super excited and really doing the carrot on the stick for us, what do they have to gain for us to feel super excited about that? We have to be thinking about things like that nowadays, it seems. Because in terms of just having our best interests at heart, it seems like they want us to have their best interests at heart. And I don't like that. That's backwards. Not a fan. Not a fan. Don't care who does it. Left, right, center, who the fuck. Not a fan. Not a fan. So anywho, overall, I think that this is actually a relief, but just with a little side dose of it pissed me off. So I'm relieved that I shouldn't be scared necessarily, or not as afraid as what I'm told to feel or whatnot. But I'm also mad at being used and abused by people like that. So Anywho, like I said, if you'd like to book a private reading or any kind of private service, Beast Talks and Tarot, and BeasTalksAndTarot.com. If you want to connect, happy to talk with you and work with you. And all of us, let's just, as always, I'm gonna put a little B-roll here at the end of this. So funny little puppy shenanigans, something that'll make us laugh, make us smile, kind of shake off some of the heaviness of what came up here. So stay tuned for the little puppy shenanigans coming up at the end of this video. And I have a lot more things to look into. Y'all have been sending in plenty of questions and requests, so I have quite a long list of things to look into. So I'm going to keep at that for all of us. And don't be a stranger. Come back and see me, and I will talk at you later. Bye, y'all. Titty, did you put yourself in here? Yeah, did you put yourself in that? Were you crying because you couldn't get out of the gate? You wanted to get with your parents while your parents did yoga, and your parents said you're not allowed to do yoga with them because you're getting away. It's a safety hazard, so you sat there and you know what he was doing?
He made a little cave before.
No, but you know what he was doing?
Like putting himself in his, the pocket or the basket?
No, like how when we have the curtains, how he goes inside the curtains so that he can try to look through the window. He was trying to see us, and when he couldn't see us, he tried to go under the blanket so that he could look through the gate and see us, but the blanket was overlapped on both sides. And so he was like, what? My view isn't through the gate now? My view is just another side of Blanky? And he was upset, and so he just fell asleep there.
That's what it was?
That's what it was. Oh my goodness, bless your heart. We'll have special plays today. You just couldn't do yoga. You're fine. We're gonna do special family time.